You wake inside a room made of soft light. The air is always silent and perfectly still. Your captors call this place a sanctuary. Its walls hum with a gentle, soothing warmth. The food synthesizer can create any dish you desire. It even remembers your favorite childhood soup. You have not asked for that soup in 2 years. This comfortable room is a gilded cage. You are its only exhibit, the last free human mind. Your captors are the Vex, an empire of pure logic and crystalline thought. They conquered Earth not with fire and death. They used a signal, a wave of perfect serenity. It washed over your species and silenced their ambition. It erased their passions and their fears. It left them happy, placid, and empty. You alone were immune. Your mind, for some unknown reason, is an anomaly. Now you are their greatest puzzle. They study you from a distance. They analyze your brainwaves while you sleep. They offer you every possible comfort. They ask for only one thing in return. They want your species' final, unconditional surrender. They want you to break and join the collective, to accept a life of peace without choice. You have refused for 732 days. You will refuse again today. A soft chime echoes through the room. It is a sound you have never heard before. A summons. A shimmering portal opens in the far wall. It swirls with colors you cannot name. On the other side stands your warden. You call him the primary analyst, a towering being of polished chrome and light. Its head is a complex crystal that pulses gently. It does not speak with a mouth. Its voice simply arrives in your thoughts. Its words are always calm, measured, and cold. The Elder Council requests your presence. The thought is unnerving. The Council has never requested you before. They have only observed from afar. The primary analyst waits with infinite patience. Its stillness is a form of pressure. You rise from your seat. You smooth out your simple gray tunic. You have no weapons. You have no allies. You have only a stubborn mind and a flickering hope. It will have to be enough. You step through the portal. The world on the other side is immense. You stand on a floating platform of crystal. It moves silently through a vast, cavernous space. This is the Crystal Spire, the heart of the Vex Collective. Far below, millions of crystalline structures pulse in unison. They are the Vex. Each light is a mind, a part of the whole. They are all connected, all thinking the same thoughts, all but one. Your platform ascends toward the spire's peak. The air grows heavy with a strange energy. It feels like the static before a lightning strike. The primary analyst stands behind you. It is a silent, intimidating shadow. You wonder if this is a good sign or a bad one? In your experience, any change in a Vex's routine is usually bad. Unless they have finally gotten bored. One can only hope. You reach the top. A circular chamber opens before you. This is the seat of power for an entire galactic arm, and you are about to walk into it. The council chamber is a perfect circle. 12 thrones of light encircle a dark, empty center. Seated on each throne is an elder, Vex. They are ancient and vast. Their crystalline forms absorb all light. They look like holes cut out of reality itself. Their collective mind feels like a mountain, a solid, unmoving weight against your own consciousness. You are a candle flame in a hurricane. They do not bother with greetings. The voice of the council speaks as one, a chorus of minds that fills your head. Human. We have completed our analysis. The words are devoid of emotion. They are a statement of fact. Like a scientist declaring an experiment is over. Your species is an error, a chaotic variable in a logical universe. You feel your heart beat faster. You keep your face a perfect mask of calm. You learned that trick from watching them. Your resistance is illogical, the voice continues. Your mind's refusal to integrate is inefficient. Your species clings to flawed concepts. Hope, love, fear. These are rounding errors in the grand equation. An image floods your mind. You see Earth, green and vibrant. You see cities full of placid, smiling people. Their eyes are vacant. They are happy prisoners in their own bodies. The Vex call this salvation. You call it damnation. Then the offer comes. It is delivered with the same cold finality. You are the final variable. Your integration will complete the process. Your species will know eternal peace in the collective. The alternative appears in your mind. A single Vex ship in orbit above Earth. A beam of focused energy lances down. The planet cracks like an egg. It shatters into a billion pieces of silent rock. Assimilation or oblivion. There is no third option. This is the end of the line. A joke comes to mind about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. You decide this is probably not the time to share it. In that moment of absolute despair, an idea is born. A desperate, impossible, beautiful lie. You clear your throat. The sound is small in the vast chamber, but it is your own. It is a sound of defiance. You are wrong, you say. Your voice is surprisingly steady. The 12 elders remain perfectly still. Their collective gaze is fixed upon you, waiting, analyzing. You see our chaos as a flaw, a weakness to be corrected. You take a deep breath. Now comes the hard part. You are mistaken, you declare, your voice growing stronger. Our chaos is not a flaw. It is a shield. The collective mind of the elders sends a pulse of curiosity. It is the closest thing to an emotion you have ever felt from them. They do not understand. That is your opening. You must give their perfect logic a problem it cannot solve. You must create a monster they cannot fight. You look at the dark void between their thrones. You let the silence hang in the air. You let them process your impossible statement. Their minds work at the speed of light. They are searching trillions of data points. They are looking for any precedent for what you just said. They will find nothing, because you are making it up right now. There is a reason for our irrationality, you say slowly. There is a reason we embrace illogical emotions. We do it to hide. The elders tilt their heads in perfect unison. It is a strangely bird-like gesture, a sign of deep concentration. Hide from what? Their unified thought asks. You smile, a small, sad, secret smile. From the static, you whisper. The lie has been given a name, and now it begins to live. The word hangs in the silent chamber. Static, it means nothing. It is a random word pulled from the depths of your memory. But you say it with such conviction. You load it with all the fear and desperation you feel. To the Vex, it is a new variable, an unknown quantity, and they despise unknown quantities. The interrogation begins instantly. It is not a series of questions. It is a direct assault on your mind. 1,000 lines of pure logic lance into your consciousness. They are not painful. They are intensely invasive. They feel like cold fingers sifting through your memories. They dissect your every thought. They are looking for the origin of your lie. You must not let them find it. You must build walls of conviction around the empty space where the truth should be. Define the static, the council's voice commands. You focus your thoughts. You cannot describe it as a creature or a fleet. They could fight those. It must be a concept, a horror of the mind. It is not a thing you can fight, you explain. It is a condition of reality, a flaw in the code of the universe. You can feel their logic probes recoil slightly. The idea of a flawed universe is blasphemy to them. It is a creeping wrongness, you continue, weaving the fiction. It feeds on patterns, on logic, on predictability. The more ordered a system is, the more vulnerable it becomes. You feel a jolt as their probes dig deeper. They are analyzing your physiological responses, your heart rate, your neural activity. You force yourself to remain calm. You must believe the lie yourself. You must make it your truth. They search your memories of human history. They see the rise and fall of empires, the pointless wars, the illogical acts of sacrifice, the creation of art that serves no purpose. They see love and hate. They see the messy, unpredictable chaos of humanity. They have always seen this as proof of your inferiority. Now, you will reframe it. You will turn your greatest weakness into your greatest strength. This data is contradictory, the Council states. Their voice holds a new tone. It is not confusion. It is the sound of a perfect equation suddenly failing to balance. Your species has spent millennia striving for order. You shake your head. No. We have spent millennia surviving. We build order, yes, but we always leave room for chaos, for the unexpected, for the illogical. You project an image from your mind, a painting by a long-dead artist, a swirl of impossible colors. This serves no logical function. It is a celebration of the unpredictable. You show them our music, the crashing waves of a symphony, the lonely cry of a saxophone. These are patterns designed to be broken, you tell them. They are exercises. They keep our minds flexible. They keep us safe from the creeping order that the static craves. You can feel their probes faltering. They are trying to fit your words into their models of the universe. The models are breaking. You claim your irrationality is a survival mechanism, the voice of the elders states. It is no longer a declaration. For the first time, it sounds like a question. Present your evidence. This is the moment. The pivot upon which your species' fate will turn. You have no evidence. You have nothing but stories. But to a species that has never known a story, perhaps that will be enough. You open your mind to them, not to the lie about the static, but to the truth of humanity. You show them everything. You show them a mother lifting a heavy vehicle to save her child, an act of love that defies physics. You show them a soldier jumping on a grenade for his friends, an act of sacrifice that defies self-preservation. You show them an artist starving in an attic, devoting a lifetime to creating beauty that no one may ever see. This is our defense, you say, your thoughts ringing with passion. This is why we have survived. Not in spite of our chaos, but because of it. The Vex probes swirl around these memories. They try to assign values and calculate outcomes. They fail. How do you quantify the logical value of a poem? What is the strategic benefit of loving someone so much you would die for them? To the Vex, it is all noise. It is garbage data. Your history is a litany of self-destruction, the Council counters. Their logic is fighting back. Your wars have killed billions. Your emotions have toppled empires. This is not a shield. It is a fatal flaw. Yes, you agree, surprising them. It is both. We burn and we rebuild. We fall and we rise again. We are a flickering flame in the dark. The static is the dark. A steady, predictable pattern is like a lighthouse beam for it. But a flickering flame? It cannot get a lock. You are mixing metaphors. You are being illogical. You are being human. You can feel a change in the room, a subtle shift in the energy. A crack is forming in their perfect logic. The primary, analyst, your silent warden, steps forward. Its crystalline head pulses with a frantic, irregular rhythm. There is an anomaly, its thought voice reports to the council. All 12 elders focus their immense attention on the analyst. This is a severe breach of protocol. A subordinate unit never interrupts the council. Something is very wrong in their perfect world. Our predictive models of galactic threats are 99.999% accurate, the analyst states. Its voice is tight with distress. We have simulated every conceivable hostile action, every possible cosmic event, every form of life we have ever encountered. It pauses. The human's claim should be a statistical impossibility, a zero probability event. And yet, the council asks, their collective voice sharp. And yet, the analyst continues, when we input the human's premise, a threat that targets predictable systems, a new simulation emerges. It is a simulation our systems have never produced before. It is not a zero probability event. The model assigns it a value of 0.001%. A ripple of something new moves through the council. It is the Vex equivalent of a gasp, a 1 in 100,000 chance. To you, those are terrible odds. To a species that deals in absolute certainties, it is a cataclysm. A single drop of doubt has been placed into their ocean of logic, and it is beginning to spread. It is the most beautiful thing you have ever seen. The primary analyst projects its findings into the center of the room. A complex hologram of star charts and equations fills the air. It is all meaningless to you. But to the Vex, it is the voice of their god, mathematics. We have cataloged over 700 extinct civilizations, the analyst explains. In 17 of those cases, the cause of extinction is unknown. Their downfall was swift, total, and left no discernible traces of conflict. We classified these as self-termination events, the analyst says. Societal collapse, technological suicide, logical fallacies, but their final data transmissions. They show a trend, an increase in societal order and predictability just before the end. The hologram shifts. It shows graphs. 17 civilizations, all showing a spike in social harmony and efficiency. And then, nothing. Silence. The elders are motionless. Their perfect logical world is being threatened by a ghost that you invented 30 minutes ago. You almost feel bad for them? Almost. You feel the balance of power shift. You are no longer the defendant pleading for your life. You are the sole possessor of a terrible secret. You are the expert in the room. You press your advantage. You see, you say, your voice calm and steady. Now you understand the burden we carry, the reason for our madness. You look from one silent elder to the next. My knowledge is not free. The chamber is utterly silent for a long moment. The Vex are processing. They are recalculating an entire universe of assumptions. The chorus of their thoughts returns, but it is different now. Less certain. Name your price, human. The words are a surrender. A white flag raised over a fortress of logic. They believe you. Or at least, they believe in the possibility. And for the Vex, a possibility of a threat is as good as the threat itself. I want freedom, you state simply. For myself, and for all of humanity. You will reverse the signal. You will awaken my people. You will leave our system and never return. The demand is audacious. It is insane. An hour ago, it would have earned you instant oblivion. Now, the elders consider it. They weigh the freedom of one insignificant species against the potential destruction of their own. This is illogical, one of the elders thinks, the thought leaking from the collective. We cannot release a chaotic variable. You must, you counter. We are the only ones who know how to survive the static. We are your only hope. Our chaos is your only shield. You let that statement sink in. You have positioned humanity not as a conquered race, but as the galaxy's reluctant, dysfunctional protectors. It is the greatest bluff in history. You will give us this knowledge, the Council commands. You will teach us your defense. You shake your head. It is not something that can be taught like an equation. It must be lived. It must be felt. But I will share what I can. You pause, letting the dramatic tension build. After my people are free, you have them backed into a corner of their own making, a corner built of fear and statistics. They have no choice. They must play your game. The Council grants you the floor. They need to understand their new enemy. The time for bluffing is over. Now you must become a true artist. You must paint a masterpiece of fear on the canvas of their logic. You must weave the great star lie. The static is not an enemy, you begin. An enemy has motives, a goal. The static is a universal law, like gravity, a law that has begun to decay. You use their own language, their own star science. You believe the universe trends toward entropy, toward ultimate chaos. You are wrong. That is only half the equation. It also trends toward order, toward patterns. These two forces are in balance. You point toward the holographic star map. But in some regions of space-time, the balance is broken. Order begins to consume everything. That is the static. You describe its effects. You talk about void sickness, a condition where ships flying in perfect formation suddenly cease to exist. Their patterns become too rigid, and the static erases them. You speak of pattern decay, a phenomenon where Vex crystal computers, thinking the same logical thoughts for too long, simply turn to dust. You are inventing cosmic horrors on the spot. You are weaponizing their own deepest fears about conformity. It is drawn to consciousness, you lie, your voice low and conspiratorial. Especially a collective consciousness. A billion minds thinking in perfect unison. To the static, that is a feast, a symphony of order it must silence. You see the light in the elders' crystalline bodies flicker. You have found their throat, and you are squeezing. Their greatest strength, their unified mind, is now their greatest vulnerability. It is a beautiful, terrible irony. You explain that humanity's defense is our individuality, our messy, unpredictable, emotional minds. We are discordant, you say. We are a symphony playing a million different songs at once. The static cannot find a pattern in our noise. It cannot consume us. Our arguments, our art, our pointless dreams, they are our armor. You are describing your species with more pride than you have felt in years. You are turning every flaw into a feature. The primary. Analyst steps forward again. We must run new simulations, it declares to the Council. We will input these new parameters. We will model the behavior of this. Static. The elders give their silent consent. The fate of two species now rests on a computer program. A program that will be fed a diet of pure fiction. You cannot help but smile. You have created a ghost, and now you have convinced the machine to go looking for it. The holographic display in the center of the chamber shifts. It is no longer a star map. It is a swirling vortex of code and light. The Vex are running their simulation. They are feeding all your lies into their most powerful analytical engine. An engine that has mapped the birth of stars and predicted the collapse of galaxies. Now it is being asked to chase a shadow. You watch as the simulation builds a model of the Vex Collective. A perfect, shimmering lattice of interconnected minds. Then, you see them introduce your variable. The static. It is represented as a slow, creeping darkness at the edge of the model. A patch of anti-logic. The simulation accelerates. It runs through 1,000 years of Vex existence in a matter of seconds. For the first 900 years, nothing happens. The Vex Empire expands. Their logic remains perfect. Then, the darkness touches the lattice. The effect is instantaneous and horrifying. The point of contact does not explode. It simply vanishes. A single Vex mind, erased from the simulation. Then the minds connected to it also vanish. A chain reaction begins. The perfect order of the collective becomes a conduit for its own destruction. The static flows through their connections like a virus through a network. The lattice of light begins to crumble. The elders lean forward on their thrones. The light within their bodies pulses erratically. The simulation is a catastrophe. Within a simulated 1,200 years, the Vex Collective is gone. Not defeated, not conquered, simply erased, replaced by a silent, orderly void. The primary analyst runs the simulation again. The result is the same. It tries a third time, altering the initial parameters. The Vex still vanish. Your lie has taken on a life of its own. It is now a mathematical truth in their world. The analyst then runs a new simulation. It includes a second variable, a small, chaotic cloud of data points labeled humanity. The cloud buzzes near the Vex lattice. It is messy and unpredictable. When the static is introduced, something remarkable happens. The darkness approaches the Vex lattice, but it is distracted by the buzzing cloud of chaos. It cannot find a stable pattern to lock onto. The human data acts as a sort of breakwater. It disrupts the static's advance. The Vex lattice still suffers losses, but it survives. The simulation ends. The hologram fades, leaving only a stunned silence. You have given them a monster, and you have given them a shield. A new feeling fills the chamber. It is a cold, sharp, unfamiliar energy. It radiates from the 12 elders. It is an emotion they have never processed before. It is fear. Their entire civilization is built on the premise of predictable outcomes, on the certainty of logic. You have shattered that foundation. You have introduced the one thing they cannot compute, the unknown. And they are terrified. The council is no longer a single, unified mind. For the first time, you can feel fractures in their unity. You can sense individual thoughts, distinct and panicked. One elder thinks of dismantling their network, of isolating every Vex mind. That would be the end of their civilization. Another considers a mass exodus to another galaxy. A desperate, illogical flight from a foe that exists everywhere. A third focuses on you, on the messy, chaotic, inferior creature who is suddenly the key to their survival. Their pride is warring with their fear. To accept your terms is to admit their entire philosophy is flawed, to admit that a lesser species holds the key to their future. But their fear is stronger. The simulation was not ambiguous. It was a prophecy of their own doom. The logic of survival is the most fundamental logic of all, and that logic dictates that they need you. The lead elder's mind reaches out, no longer part of the chorus. It is a single, ancient, and now frightened voice. Your proposal is acceptable, with conditions. The other elders fall silent. A decision has been made. Fear has become their new god, and you are its only prophet. You feel a surge of triumph, but you keep your expression neutral. The negotiations are not over yet. The Council's unified voice returns, but the fear still echoes within it. We will grant your species its freedom. The integration signal will be reversed. Our fleets will withdraw from your solar system. The words are what you have dreamed of hearing for 2 long years. But you know there is a catch. The Vex never give anything without a price. Humanity will be released, but you will not. A new set of golden chains materializes before you. They are not physical. They are a contract, a position. You will remain with us, the Council declares. You will be our permanent advisor on illogical threats. You will help us study this static. You will teach us to build our own chaos. You will be given authority, resources, and respect. But you will never go home. It is a clever move. A cage far larger than your room of light, but a cage nonetheless. They will free your people, but keep their key. They will study you, dissect your chaotic mind. They hope to eventually replicate your shield so they no longer need the original. You are to become their living textbook on how to survive the monster you invented. A permanent resident in a universe haunted by your own lie. You look at the offer, at the golden chains of the advisor. To refuse means the deal is off. Humanity remains enslaved or faces oblivion. To accept means you will save everyone but yourself. You will trade your own freedom for that of 10 billion souls. It is not a difficult choice. It is the only choice. But you are not finished yet. You have one final move to make. One last condition to add to the bargain. You look at the 12 elders. Their fear has made them desperate. Desperate enough to agree to almost anything. I accept your terms, you say. The tension in the chamber eases. They believe they have won. They have secured their survival and kept their most valuable asset. They are wrong. I accept, you repeat, with one final condition of my own. The collective mind of the Council focuses on you. They are wary now. They are beginning to understand that your illogical mind is more dangerous than they ever imagined. What is it? Their thought voice asks. When you free my people, you say, I want proof. I want to see it happen. They nod. We will provide you with a direct feed of the data. You shake your head. Not good enough. Data can be faked. I want more. You take a deep breath. The reversal of the integration signal must be broadcast. It must be sent on an open channel. A channel that can be seen by any species with a receiver. It will be sent with a simple message, from you to them. The elders are confused. This seems like a pointless, sentimental request. What message? They ask. You smile. The message will be this. We, the Vex Collective, acknowledge the sovereignty of the human race. We have made a mistake. The chamber erupts in silent, logical fury. This is an impossible demand. For the Vex to admit a mistake is unheard of. It would shatter their image of perfection. It would invite challenges from other empires. It would be a confession of weakness to the entire galaxy. We will not, the Council declares. This is not logical. It is perfectly logical, you counter. It is my price. And it is the only way I can be sure you will not change your minds the moment I begin my work. It is my insurance policy. You look them in their dark, empty faces. Broadcast the message, you say. Or I will tell you nothing, and you can face the static alone. The threat hangs in the air. The silence stretches. You can feel their pride wrestling with their terror. The simulation of their own extinction plays over and over in their minds. Finally, with a grinding sense of inevitability, They agree. The impossible bargain is sealed. You have won, and you have lost. The journey home is long and silent. You are not on a platform of light anymore. You are in the command center of a Vex starship. It is a vast, dark space, filled with pulsing crystals. You sit in a chair that molds itself to your form. Beside you stands the primary analyst. Your former warden is now your official liaison. He probably thinks of it as a promotion. You think of it as the galaxy's most awkward road trip. On a massive screen before you, you see the Sol system. You see Earth, a beautiful blue and white marble. The Vex fleet hangs in orbit, a silent, geometric threat. Then you see it begin. A new signal emanates from the Vex ships. Not the serene wave that enslaved your species. This one is different. It is jagged, chaotic. It is the antivirus you designed with the Vex engineers. It is a wave of pure, unfiltered humanity. You watch the data feeds. You see brain scans from cities across the globe. You see the placid brain waves begin to flicker, to spark, to ignite with confusion, then anger, then joy. You are watching 10 billion minds wake up from a long, peaceful dream. You know it will be chaos. There will be fear and conflict, but it will be their chaos. It will be their freedom. You paid for it with your own. The primary analyst turns its crystalline head toward you. The open broadcast has begun, it informs you. A new window opens on the screen. You see the Vex message scrolling in 100 different alien languages. We, the Vex Collective, acknowledge the sovereignty of the human race. We have made a mistake. The words are a monument to your lie, a lie that has just become the most important political statement in the galaxy. The weight of it settles upon you. It is heavier than a star. Humanity is free. The Vex ships warp away from Earth, leaving behind a confused and newly awakened species. They will have questions. They will search for answers about their 2 lost years. They will find the Vex broadcast. They will see that their captors admitted a mistake. They will believe they were freed because the Vex saw the error of their ways. They will never know the truth. They will never know about the ghost you created. A new galactic order is born, an order built entirely upon your lie. The Vex, once the galaxy's most feared purveyors of order, are now its most paranoid students of chaos. They retask their entire civilization. They study art. They analyze music. They try to understand illogical concepts like hope and love. They dedicate trillions of resources to defending against a phantom that exists only in their simulations. Their fear of the static makes them cautious. It makes them humble. The galaxy becomes a safer place. And you? You are in your new gilded cage. The advisor's spire is even more luxurious than your old room. You have access to all of their knowledge. You are treated with a reverence bordering on worship. You are the most powerful human in the universe. And you are the most alone. You spend your days teaching the Vex how to be a little less logical. You show them old movies. You try to explain jokes. They never laugh. Sometimes, late at night, you look out at the sea of stars from your high window. You think about Earth. You think about the messy, beautiful, chaotic people you saved. You wonder if the price was worth it. You are the silent guardian of a universe haunted by nothing. The human who bartered a lie for freedom. And you know, in the quiet logic of your own heart, that you would do it all again.